me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta feel the tension. In my thoughts.
Very well, and I think he does have. Welcome back, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment down below, and if you want some exclusive perks and you want to just support the channel, join that membership down below, and I would really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me, but today we're going to be going over day one in training camp, and there's a couple things I don't want people to overreact on what was happening. You know, I feel like I know the throw that they have on social media is going to get picked apart. Of course, it's going to be another throw where apparently the media team loves capturing videos of kind of, I guess, I don't really know what the exact circumstances was, but it looked like an underthrown ball. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was a one-on-one ball, but you know, I feel like they do that on purpose just to gain media attention. I know that one's going to get talked about everywhere, but for the most part, we'll go over the highlights of what happened. And at the end of the video, I have an undrafted free agent that I think everybody really needs to take a look at. And I think he's going to be one of the guys that makes the team and makes an impact, just like Kader Kohu did last year. But that catch that I'm talking about was a throw from Tua to Jalen Waddle, where it was an impressive catch. It was basically him, Jalen Waddle over Javon Holland and Deshaun Elliott, and bobbled it a couple times and then brought it in. Pretty impressive catch, but I know that one's going to be all over social media pretty soon, and everybody's going to be like, oh, this is Tua, this, that. So what we're going to get into as well is that another one of the highlights was that Tua looked very decisive and very accurate with the football. 7-on-7s, everything that he was doing, he looked extremely accurate. I think even one guy said that he didn't see the ball ever touch the ground when Tua was throwing the ball to his receivers. So, you know, that was one pass, this and that. But for the most part, you know, on the offensive side, Tua looked really good. Tyreek had a couple drops, but that's going to be something, obviously, that he corrects going into the season because it's Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill is the man. And I'm not really worried about Tyreek Hill and drops. He did have some last year, but I know that will get corrected. Another one that was surprising, which I think in my last video, I said that Myles Gaskin is going to go to the practice squad or get cut, and Salvon Ahmed has a better chance. Well, in this practice, Salvon Ahmed looked very explosive, just like Devon Achane. But really, in this training camp, Salvon Ahmed looked really good. He looked very explosive. He looked very, decisive when it came to running his holes. Obviously, this is training camp. Day one, they don't have pads on, so we can't think too much into this. But Salvon Ahmed looked pretty good. And I also heard that Skylar Thompson looked very much improved from last year. He was much more decisive. He kind of understands the offense. Obviously, second year in the offense. He is understanding the offense much more so than he did last year. So he actually looked like he has taken a step forward. So honestly, a bold prediction is actually Mike White might not even be the backup. It might be Skylar Thompson to take that backup role, and Mike White might be the third quarterback. We'll see what happens. And as for the defense, Jalen Ramsey, he was a full go. I guess he had a shoulder injury that was keeping him off the field during the minicamp, but he was a full go, didn't have anything to do with his shoulders, looked like good and ready. Another one was Brandon Jones, didn't have any brace on his surgically repaired knee, and he looked pretty good as well. We'll see what Brandon Jones is. I still think he's going to be the backup to Deshaun Elliott just because I think Elliott has better pass coverage skills, but we'll see coming into the season. Obviously, Brandon Jones came off injury too, so it's going to be tough for him to gain that. Zach Sealer looked pretty dominant on this defense. He looked obviously this is no pads, but we all love Zach Sealer. I think he's a great player on this team. We're going to have to pay him pretty soon as well, but Zach Sealer looked very dominant in this practice. Now, after we got that, that's basically the training camp review. That's basically what happened in training camp day one. There's not too much that usually happens in day one because they don't have pads on. They're just kind of getting on the field and getting ready. So that would be the review. But what I want to go over is I think people need to see really and I'm going to be one of the first ones to tell you this, is that Brandon Peely, I believe, is going to be the next Kader Kohu on this team. So he was another guy, along with, Christian Wilkins, that was doing really good today, or Raekwon Davis as well. Sorry, not Christian Wilkins. Raekwon Davis did pretty good, but had a couple of run stuffs for Brandon Peely that looked really, really good. And what I'm telling you right now is, Raekwon Davis needs that backup. Akeem Hicks is still a free agent, which we could possibly sign him. He would be that nose tackle. But Brandon Peely would be the next biggest guy on this team. And that's what we kind of need for a nose tackle. And the athleticism that Brandon Peely has, he models his game after Vita Vea. And he plays kind of similar to him. Obviously not the same extent, because Vita Vea is a very, very good player. But I do believe that Brandon Peely is going to have a really, really good year. I know he's going to make the 53-man roster. I know that he is. And I think he will have a significant jump, just like Kader Kohu did. I see Brandon Peely playing this year. There's a couple other undrafted free agents that I think will be really good. But I do believe that Brandon Peely is going to be one of the ones. Obviously, Aubrey Miller, we'll see what happens with him. And Dawood Davis is another one that you could kind of throw out there. But Brandon Peely, I think, is the guy that's going to make this team and make an immediate impact on this team. I think the Dolphins are good at finding undrafted free agents and turning at least one of them into a solid player. And Brandon Peely has the exact athleticism and body size, all that matches perfectly to this team. And what we're already seeing in training camp and mini camp is that he is doing his thing. He's really playing have a spot on this roster coming to the 53-man. I think that's what we're looking for too. I think we look for the undrafted free agents, and we're good at spotting some of the ones that match our system and can excel in the system that we have. And again, we need that nose tackle. We need that backup for Raekwon Davis, or even the guy that supplements. I don't even doubt that there are going to be some certain packages that Peely is playing in this year. I think he's going to make the 53-man roster, and I think he's going to actually have some plays. He's just that type of player. I think he actually could do the same similar thing that Kader Kohu did last year, where you come in, because Raekwon Davis is very up and down. I love Raekwon Davis. I really wish that he could keep consistency, but Raekwon Davis is very up and down. So we really need to look at the aspect of, we need to get a guy behind him that can play well a lot of the time. And I think Brandon Peely can be that guy. Obviously we'll switch him in and out with Wilkins, and there's going to be different fronts where it's Wilkins and Seiler, but I think Peely is that other D tackle that can give you that nose tackle presence, that can take up two guys to allow your other players to get one-on-ones. I think he's that guy that can do it. And I believe that he's going to be a strong dark horse to make this 53-man roster. He'll probably be, I would even say, the only undrafted free agent that I see making the 53-man. But that's going to be the recap of day one. Just wanted to make a short video to update everybody. But as always, hope you have a great rest of your day. Finz up, baby. Peace.